Today I'm doing a Q&A answering your niche questions, stuff that I've not really been asked about before, things that are really specific and probably not that interesting. I've received 4,600 questions, so I guess I should get on with it. During the play button Heist Era, aka 2019 to 2021, what was the sketchiest email conversation you had trying to get a plaque? Oh man, I've kind of forgotten about this. I love how you've called it the Heist Era. So off the top of my head, let me think. There was a few conversations I had with people who were like illegally getting play buttons from Society Awards and then reselling them. And I don't know if they ever got in trouble for that, but I was trying to kind of engage with that. Obviously these days I wouldn't dream of such a thing. I have a great relationship with both YouTube and Society Awards. I do remember though there was one time where I asked Becky to contact Society Awards because I knew they'd know my name and I wanted her to pretend to be a company trying to get the 20 million award, which is the award they gave to like Britain's Got Talent, for example, because that design was available to purchase on their website. So I was going to try and get one of those and get myself a 20 million award. But I was trying a lot of different things from that era, and that was just one of many that didn't end up going anywhere. Is your office upstairs? It just gives off upstairs vibes. Yes, it is. Also, do you have any garden gnomes? You just seem like you might quite like a good gnome. Hang on, I think there's one next to me. Yeah, this is currently in the spare room. I don't even know if I can show this on YouTube, but basically he's got his ass out. Me and Becky kind of went through a phase of purchasing like the most horrendous gnomes we could and then trying to hide them in our friends' houses. That's kind of our relationship with gnomes. So this is the one that was discovered and then brought back to us. Will you ever actually visit Equatorial Guinea? So at the present period of time, travel isn't actually advised. It's kind of not considered 100% safe. So just to fulfill some random promise I said 5 years ago, probably not worth it. That being said, I plan to live for, you know, at least a while, and who knows what direction my content will go. Maybe I'll get more comfortable with traveling. Maybe I'll be in a position to head to somewhere with security. So it's never impossible, but at the moment it's unlikely. What's your favorite clothing brand? I don't think I've got one. Yeah, I definitely don't have one, to be honest. I don't really look at brands. I just look at individual items of clothing and pick things that I think look nice. What's your desktop and mobile wallpapers? Desktop wallpaper, very boring. Just the generic Windows one. My phone wallpaper is Becky's reflection in a smartwatch. Do you actively use any of your sponsors? Yeah, of course. Not every single one that I've ever been sponsored by, but literally in front of me, I've got a youll, which they sponsored me a few months ago. And then you can see I've got a 37-day streak with Yazio, the calorie counting app. So there's two recent examples. What type of grape is better, purple or green? I'm actually quite passionate about this subject because I'm big into my purple grapes. Are they purple? They're red grapes, really, aren't they? They're not called purple grapes. What about black? Nah, I actually would say I like black grapes the least, then green, and then red seedless grape. That's my number one, and I would say I have them most days. Are you planning to do more Tesla vids, / do them more often? At the moment, unfortunately not. I liked doing the Tesla videos, but the company is just far too controversial, and I don't want to support Elon Musk right now. I'm still crossing my fingers that he'll be removed from the company at some point, or he'll step down, but yeah, for now, the Tesla videos are on pause. Do you miss your old-style content, specifically the rap battles with the one child in a rubbish bin? Look, I am a sucker for the Will's the King diss track. Still one of my favorite videos of all time, but it is a period of its time. It wouldn't make sense to be doing stuff like that these days. I don't really miss my old content, but I of course feel nostalgic to series that were big parts of my life at one point, you know, like Hacker Trolling and One Life and just Minecraft as a game in general. And recently I've actually been watching old videos because they've been popping up in my recommended, so I kind of skip through them, and it's kind of like watching them for the first time because I don't remember them anymore. Will we get a JackSucksAtFitness channel? At the moment there is not a real need for one because I can just upload videos onto JackSucksAtLife. That being said, if they started doing really well on JackSucksAtLife, it does mean that there would be potential I could do more specific fitness stuff on a new channel. For example, if I was going to do a video talking about like my diet and how I get enough calories and stuff, that's probably not fancy enough to go on JackSucksAtLife, so that's when a fitness channel would make sense. But at the moment, a designated fitness channel isn't required because it's not a big enough part of my stuff yet. If you could bring back any old YouTube feature like annotations, old layouts, etc., what would it be? Oh, there's probably a really good answer to this, but it's difficult to remember every feature that no longer exists. What would I bring back? Ooh. I guess an easy one would just be the dislike button because I thought it was quite handy for things like YouTube tutorials and that sort of stuff. If I was requesting a feature that doesn't exist, it would be A/B testing for YouTube titles because they've added A/B testing for thumbnails, so you can try different thumbnails and YouTube will tell you which one works better, but it would be really good if you could do the same for different titles, because I'm always a bit unsure about what specifically to go with for a title. How do you keep up with like 20 channels when I can barely run 2? So I haven't really had the crazy amount of channels for a while. There was a period of time back in 2020 where I don't know how I was doing as many videos as I was. It was averaging about 9 per week, which just seems crazy. These days I'm active on life, stuff, and geography, so 3. It's quite manageable. And the videos that come out on stuff and geography, they don't take that much time to record, and obviously I have the privilege of not needing to edit them myself either, so it's quite easy to manage once you're in a routine. And then with JackSucksAtStuff, it's all stuff that I'm passionate about, so I feel motivated to record. So honestly, it's not a challenge uploading on multiple channels, at least for me anyway. What do you support, iPhone or Android? I don't mind. I think whatever people personally like the best is fine. I have an iPhone, and I probably always will, because I'm just too deep into their capitalistic monopoly. You know, I've had one for over 12 years, so all of my data and photos and stuff are just deeply ingrained within Apple. But yeah, if you prefer Android, that's fine. I really don't care. What was the weirdest / biggest mistake you made when signing cards? Yes, some of the Jack and Becky joint cards did say Jack Sucks Becky until I realized we should probably make it say Becky and Jack Sucks. But the main issue I had with my Jack Sucks autograph is sometimes the S in Sucks would look like an F, which is a problem. So there was a few cards that I had to chuck away because I didn't want anyone seeing them. And that's one of the reasons my autograph's now JMW, because that shouldn't happen anymore. Do you know Pete? Do you know what? I don't think I do know any Petes. Do I know any Petes? No, I don't think I do. Crazy, that isn't it? What if I'm forgetting a Pete? Sorry, Pete. As a fellow vegetarian, what foods did you eat to help gain weight? Well, this is pretty handy. 400 calories in this, and it's all like good stuff. But avoiding that, because I know it could be expensive, soya has just been helpful. Like, soya milk has a lot of calories. Like, you can get high protein soya milk as well, and it's not too expensive. And I have these Alpro soya yogurts. They've got like 15 grams of protein in too, so yeah, that's all pretty useful. Do you think you'll stop the Reddit videos? At some point, they will stop, yeah. But they are such a staple part of my brand that I have no plans to stop them soon, even if the posts are just really, really terrible. In the future, would you like to create a new Jackpack set featuring redesigned cards and new memes / trends of the world of Jack Sucks Alive? The first Jackpack trading cards were a massive success. It's definitely like the most successful merch thing I've ever released, and it was such a fun thing to be able to do, so it is something I'd like to do again. But I think in order for them to remain special, it needs to be a few years away so that there is plenty new stuff for cards to be made about. So it's not something that I will be doing again anytime soon. That being said, I am hoping to maybe release another one of these one-off collector's cards, you know, the single ones rather than the big booster boxes, just because these were really successful as well. People liked them. Do you ever find the Northeast extremely depressing? I don't find it extremely depressing. I obviously find poverty sad, and some areas of County Durham where I'm from has a lot of systemic poverty, which is generally the fault of history and the government. But my actual just thoughts and memories of the Northeast are generally all positive things. I had a really nice childhood, and I always enjoy visiting my family that are still up there. What GCSEs did you do? I did... What GCSEs did I do? It was a long time ago now. I've gotten old. I did geography. I did ICT. I did business studies. And I did... What was the other one? Graphics. I did graphics. And it's quite interesting, actually, because all 4 of those things, there are links to my actual job that I have now. I'm not saying that I required those to do the job that I have now, but I guess it shows that I've had the same passions and interests for a long time. If you had to leave the UK and emigrate to another country, where would you go? I feel like New Zealand would be where it interests me, but it is just annoyingly far away in terms of, like, seeing family and friends. Would you ever change the days you upload on? But please don't. It will actually disrupt my entire week schedule. It's the only thing that is consistent in my life. Yeah, that is the reason that I don't mess with the day that the Reddit video comes out. Like, Tuesday is a bit of a random day for a video, but I know that it's like a fixed point in so many people's lives. Like, it's something that people have grown to expect, and I wouldn't want to mess with that. So it's interesting how just a random decision I made 7 years ago has just stuck week on week. So generally speaking, I'm not really going to mess with my upload schedule because I think it's bad for my regular viewers. Did you enjoy the new seasons of Doctor Who? I thought some episodes were bad, but there were a couple of gems as well. I'm kind of similar. It feels very different. I obviously prefer my favorite era, which is like Eccleston and Tennant. There are still good moments in the new episodes, but I don't like them as much as the old ones. Are you planning to get any new dogs or any other pets? Me and Becky do really, really miss having a dog, and we are definitely going to get more pets again, but not right now. Not in the immediate future anyway, but perhaps it's something we would start looking into maybe next year. What are your favorite toppings for a bagel? Ooh, I do like a bagel. I've heard Jack loves some vegan Philadelphia. It's so weird how people know that. Yeah, vegan Philadelphia, maybe a bit of avocado as well. Get some black pepper in there. Those little tomatoes. I also bloody love scrambled egg as well, so on occasion I'd shove some of that in a bagel. Did you have a job before YouTube? My first job I ever had was a paper boy on the weekends. Is it called a paper boy? Probably a paper person now, isn't it? I delivered newspapers. I did that for, I don't know, 4 months every weekend, so it wasn't very long, and I wasn't very good at it either. It really hurt me back, and I took ages, and they paid me about £4 for like 6 hours work, and really that's the only thing. I had like the odd shift where I was washing up or waitering, but I don't think I did those things more than one time. I had a few money-making schemes during school, so I would turn glue sticks into characters. This sounds so weird if you've not heard before, but imagine like a glue stick that looks like the Joker. So I would sell those to people for 60 pence. You know, they'd say what character they want, and then I'd work on it that evening. I also sold sweets for a little bit of school. I tried a brief loan shark business where I would like lend people 50p, and then the next day they owed me 60. But I didn't quite have the intimidation to back that up, so that didn't go very far. But yeah, YouTube's the first job that I had where I earned probably over £50 in total. You keep talking about when you get a new house, but do you have any plans to move anytime soon? If so, would you make a video about the move? I probably wouldn't make a video about the actual move, but there would definitely be the opportunity to make videos decorating some of the new rooms. And in terms of actually moving, yeah, we are interested in moving house, but we already have a nice house at the moment, so to find something that's worth moving to is just very expensive at the moment, so I think it's kind of just waiting and seeing what becomes available / earning more money so that we have more savings. What got you into Doctor Who as a kid? It would be my brother. So pre-2005, when the new series came back, my brother was already a massive fan of the classic Doctor Who, so he had all of the VHSs, and I remember like one day asking if I could borrow one of them and watch one of them, so it was from that moment onwards. I was probably about 8 years old at the time. Is it strange that I've watched the Reddit videos for about 2 years now, but I've yet to ever use Reddit ever in my entire life? No, it's actually quite normal. You've got to think about the fact that each Reddit video gets at least 70,000 views, whereas the top post of the week is like a max of 1,000 upvotes, so that's a lot of people that just watch the videos and don't actually interact with the subreddit. Will you ever revisit the wee wee bush? I am sure I will at some point revisit the wee wee bush. I'd still like to do a video at some point where I revisit classic locations from my channel's history, but I'm kind of holding out for like a special milestone, you know, maybe 5 million subscribers, for example. Do you watch any fitness YouTubers? I find your knowledge really good. I watch a lot of fitness YouTubers these days. Anytime I get into a new hobby or interest, I go straight to YouTube and watch hundreds of videos about it. I was the same when I started getting into terrariums like 2 years ago. Magnus Midbo is probably my favorite fitness creator, but that's for kind of more entertainment-based content. If you want to actually learn about fitness and exercise, Fitness FAQs has been my favorite for that kind of thing. He's just very, very good at talking about technique and form and all that sort of stuff. How many subscribers did you get on your first year of being on YouTube? If we're talking about my first era, which is Sam Smells of Apricots back in 2010, I probably got about 150 subscribers in my first 12 months, and most of those were my friends from school. If we're talking about JackSucksAtLife, which I created when I was a bit older and I knew a lot more about YouTube, and I was also using like an auto-clicker program thing that would basically promote my channel to thousands of users a day, and I used that until I got 8,000 subscribers. But yeah, I think in my first 12 months on JackSucksAtLife, which was JackSucksAtMinecraft at the time, I think I got to like 70,000 subscribers, which I understand is a lot, but I was really taking YouTube seriously. It was a good time to be making Minecraft videos. I knew a lot about the algorithm at that point in time, so it would be much, much harder these days to get that many subscribers. Do you plan on getting a new car? I would be interested in a new car. It's just I'm limited by my garage because the garage is small, so I can't really get anything bigger than a Tesla Model 3. What is / would be your ultimate YouTube goal? These days, I'm just far less motivated by YouTube goals. I'm just happy to be still able to make YouTube videos as a job because, you know, it's a bit of an honor. If I had to pick something, I guess at the moment it would just be 5 million subscribers because it feels like quite a long time coming. It feels like 4 million was a while ago now. Are you currently wearing socks? I am not. I am barefoot as we speak. I'm pretty big into the barefoot thing. I find the socks restricting. I don't like it day to day. Who is a better troll, you or Donny Bobs? I mean, I've been out the Minecraft trolling game for a number of years at this point. Donnie is far superior. I'm sure it's all changed now. I probably wouldn't know where to start. I imagine trolling's come a long way since my day when I basically would just do / undo / redo over and over again. Will a sequel to JackSucksAtStuff IRL ever happen? Definitely, and hopefully within the next 2 months. What's your favorite body accessory to wear? I'm not really into any kind of jewelry. I wear a whoop, which is like a smartwatch type thing, which links to your phone. But yeah, other than that, I don't really like the feel of actual jewelry. How do you take your tea? I would have a small amount of milk, dairy, or oat, and then half a teaspoon of sugar at the moment. Are you happy about the views you're getting? I'm definitely overall happy. There was a period of time where I got slightly more views. Basically, kind of 2023 era was a bit of a wild time with all of my YouTube shorts just popping off, and then that was leaking through onto my other videos. If I cared that much, I could do videos like the comparison videos again, and I probably would have an increase in views once more. But to be honest, I'm happier making content that I'm more fulfilled by and getting slightly less views. But obviously, like any YouTuber, if someone said, do you want 50% more views than you're currently getting, I would say yes. Favorite Jackpack card? Oh, I don't think I could pick one, but I am a big fan of the designs of the Turd Boy Mobile. I love the Don't Subscribe milestone one. And I also really like the Editor Becky card. It's just really, really cute looking. Will you ever compete in YouTube boxing? It's kind of something that you would think could be a natural progression with me getting more into fitness, but I don't think so. I'm genuinely just too scared of actually causing damage to my head. You know, you've only got one life. I don't want to accidentally give myself brain damage or blindness, you know? It's not really worth the risk. My dad injured himself when he was young and it changed his life forever, so I always have that in the back of my mind, which is why I just wouldn't want to take those kind of risks. How long did it take to remember every country in the world? I think the series lasted about 30 days, right? From beginning to end? Yeah, I think it was 30 days, and I was practicing nearly every day during that period of time. A very niche question, but what is the type of tape that you have over the KSI and MrBeast play button to keep them in pristine condition? So this is in relation to the sticker over the autograph. It's nothing fancy, it's just some transparent stickers. There's probably something better you can get, but this is the one I used. Do you think smaller creators should go all out on their supplies or just gradually build up? So I assume you mean like buying stuff like microphones and cameras and stuff. You should get what you can afford, basically, and make sure that you're seeing it as a hobby rather than I'm definitely going to make a lot of money out of this. So for most people, yeah, you should just build up, because a phone these days is a good camera, it's a good microphone. So if you've got one of those, you've hopefully got enough to build a few foundations. Looking at the positive feedback from Tommy in its survival tour, has that made you consider going on tour, or if not, even just performing on a single stage for a live show? At the minute, that is not something that I'm interested in. I don't think that I have a big enough active audience for that kind of thing either, and I don't know what the subject would be, but who knows where the future will take us. As a vegetarian, are there any foods or drinks that you used to enjoy but you can't have anymore? So I don't really miss any meat stuff, basically, but I do miss sweets that have gelatin in, so like Haribo Tang Fastics. They used to be my favorite, and for the most part, the jelly sweets that are vegetarian aren't quite as nice. The Marks and Spencer ones get pretty close though, and it's worth it for the cows. Do you ever feel sad that your friends/friendly/acquaintances with so many large creators like Tommy, the Sidemen, MrBeast kind of, yet seem to be relatively unknown compared to them? Not trying to insult you by saying you're not popular or whatever, lol, just curious if you ever feel insecure. No, I do not. Looking from somewhere close but not directly here, it feels like it would alter my lifestyle way too much if I was as big and as known as someone like the Sidemen. I would have to change my life to accommodate being that recognizable, and I would not like that. And yes, there are lots of YouTubers that are bigger than me, but I'm a YouTuber that's got 4 million subscribers on my biggest channel. I'm doing okay. Think how many people out there are trying to be in the position that I'm in, so it'd be really weird if I was jealous of people that are more successful than I am. And you know what? I think that's probably a nice note to end this video on. Hopefully you did enjoy listening to all of these niche questions get answered. If you did, please click that like and that subscribe button. Alright, thanks, and I'll see you later.